Hey guys, what's up? Bradley Hallman here. Welcome back to the channel. Dude, we got a great show today. I am in Winchester, Tennessee. Drove all day yesterday, just got down here this morning. This is the Phoenix plant. We're gonna do a video on the truth behind how they build a Phoenix boat. Looking forward to doing this, going through a little tour, taking you guys along with me. Guys, if it's your first time here, don't forget, bump that like, hit that subscribe. Gonna meet a lot of people that I've been friends with for a long time down here that do a lot of hard work and make their living building bass boats, so they know a couple of things. And you guys are going to learn some stuff. I'm going to learn some stuff. I've got my trusty sidekick with me today. She doesn't want to be on camera, but she is. My 13-year-old daughter, Caitlin, the great one. It's been fun traveling with her and getting a little time with her, father and daughter time. So we're down here in Winchester, Tennessee. You guys hold on. Kate and I are about to go through the factory, and we're going to bring you guys along with us, man. So let's get to it. All right, we just walked in the door. Basically 210,000 square feet under roof total between another warehouse and this building right here. So there's the man of the plan, Greg. He's not going to talk. I promise he will run from the camera like the plague. Greg the plague from a camera. What, it took Greg 2 seconds to run as soon as he saw that camera? He's like, gone.
Pretty much the start of the process. You'll start out with a mold, basically an empty cake pan. Hello? Hello? So the first thing they'll do is they'll hand wax the mold just like Grandma used to put butter in the cake pan. And then they'll come back in. You see the graphics are in the mold. They'll use that as a template to be able to come in and hand tape everything. Because the first thing we do is we'll actually paint it. We're going to put the color in first and then come back behind that and lay all the fiberglass.
How many boats can you get out of a mold?
How many cakes can Grandma get out of the pan? It's to say, as long as you take care of the mold, it'll last a long. Most of the time, the mold will outlast the cycle of a model.
Really? Okay. How many molds you try to keep of each?
It depends on the model.
So that's what I'm saying, like a 920X.
721, for example, we still build 921 Elites and 721s are two most popular models. We've got, 8 hull molds, 7 deck molds on the 721. Okay. That allows us, we can literally build, every hull mold we can build is one boat a week. Okay. These are all basically parts in process. So they've taped it, and then the next step is they're actually going to start putting the flake and the gel coat in.
No sweatshirt needed in here. It's plenty damn warm.
Any tour I've ever given is the same thing. So there's 3 things that I always felt that separated us as a company versus people. We're only as good as the guys that we work with. We were fortunate, blessed, good timing, but we were able to pull from some companies that were changing locations and get an incredible group of guys. Like our lead painter, Jeff, he started painting in another company in 1988. You don't find guys like that in the one ad. They're just very talented at what they do. And Travis is another one. He's been with us. He's been painting for over 20 years. And then we've taken that core group and trained local guys to do what we do. What we do is travel knowledge. You don't go out and just go to school and learn how to build boats. It's all on-the-job training. So those guys are critical to who we are as a company.
Freaking cool. Is that the new Merc 250?
Yeah. Once we come out of the paint process, the next step is to move it into lamination. The biggest thing we do is time. We allow the parts to stay in the mold longer than most companies do. Our process, so we'll paint it, say it's Monday morning, we painted it Tuesday, Monday afternoon we'll skin coat it. Tuesday we'll do the bulk layup, which this boat has the bulk layup in it. The next step is to clamp the transom. Wednesday we'll overlap transom, set stringers in. Thursday we'll do the subfloor, foam it Thursday afternoon, pull it Friday morning. So it's about a 4.5-day cycle while it's in the mold. Traditionally, most companies, that's about a 2-day cycle, 2.5-day cycle.
So this is actually, once it's got the fiberglass laid over the paint that we just saw, this is the interior of your boat right here, basically.
And what by stretching that process out over a period of time, it allows that part to cool between stages. When you work with resin, you put a catalyst to it like any 2-part epoxy. It'll generate heat while it's cooling, while it's curing. So by stretching that process out, we allow that heat to dissipate, so you don't have any heat draw on the material. That's why your fit and finish goes way up, your consistency within your parts goes way up.
Cool. All right, what's this on the rolls?
So this really is what separates us from most manufacturers. This raw material is called knit versus a woven roven. Most companies will use woven roven in their lamination process. They'll use knit somewhere, but they don't build the whole boat out of it. We at Phoenix actually build the entire boat out of knit. The advantage of it is, you can see it's a much tighter weave pattern than woven. Woven roven is basically, it's a biaxial material, kind of a loose woven product, and it'll have flex to it. The advantage you get out of knit, it's got cross stitching built into it. It doesn't twist and flex like woven will. Less prone to joke coat cracking. You just don't fight the issues with it. Costs a lot more than woven. That's why most companies don't use it. We can afford to use it simply because we're not paying to fix all this stuff on the back end like a lot of companies are.
That's cool. So this is basically the hand-laid resin they're always talking about.
This is a hand-laid hull, yeah. When you always hear that expression, hand-laid hull, this is exactly what they mean. It's a crew coming in and actually rolling out all the air pockets, getting hand working all the resin out.
I like the smell of resin.
Definitely got it, folks.
I like it. I like the smell of it.
You like the smell of resin?
I do. You probably smell it in your sleep.
All day. All day. All day.
Wake up in the morning, 3 in the morning, smelling resin.
Yeah.
And then every boat order's right there attached to it. Every one of them. Every boat going out. That's cool.
Yeah, so you can, that ticket will tell them what to build it, what color to paint, all the options to put on it, where it's going, the customer's name, all of it's tied to it.
Boat building. Dude, this place is freaking awesome.
So once they're all done, this is what it looks like. The last step for this part is when it's cured out, they'll come back in, they'll drill holes in the stringers, drill holes in the subfloor, and basically fill everything with a two-part foam. Allows the flotation in the product, allows you stiffen everything up.
See, I thought there was always like grinding that went on all this stuff.
It's around the corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's where we're gonna get messy. So Coosa, you guys that are older, y'all remember this. There are always like stickers on the back of our boats about Coosa.
This is Coosa. So the advantage Coosa has, it's as strong as plywood, but the real advantage, so that's a 1/2-inch piece of material. There's no weight to it. The other advantage you get, if you actually look at it, you can see the fiberglass in it. So we're bonding a similar material to it because you're bonding fiberglass to glass. Your adhesion rate goes way up. Instead of laying glass over aluminum or glass over plywood back in the day, where you'd always heard the delamination issue where you got wet batch wood in. That's where the product has really gotten better over the last 20-30 years is the raw materials that we use, frankly. The advantage of using composite materials.
So all this stuff gets hand cut and everything right on there. I got a question. How many guys, how many employees you got just to run the plant?
We run, it's about 130 on direct labor on the guys that actually build the boats.
You work on a 12-hour or 10-hour day or 8 hour, or y'all closed at night?
5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Once they get them foamed, the next step is we'll actually pull the cake out of the pan, if you will. So they'll actually lift the part out of the mold. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the mold.
So like here's in the mold, we were talking about this. This is in the mold, and then it's outside first, so like the stickers and the paint, and then it pops out of this part. And looks like that. That one ain't even hit a rock yet.
We lost him for a minute.
Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. We're talking about hard tongue. Jeff once been talking. Let's tell on him. Don't go on a road trip, he says.
No road trip with Jeff. You're going to stop 58 times and let him go to the bathroom. Don't do it. If you do, you can't give him a drink of water.
Dude, I'm the guy that likes to go full tank of gas and let's drive. And then when it's empty, like, you know, when your light comes on, and then we got to eat, we got to pee, and then I want back in the truck and go.
That's me.
I want to do it all in one stop.
That's me. If I'm driving to the beach, we're stopping one time. That's when we got to get gas.
Next step in the process, when they pull it out of the mold, it'll go into our grinding room. We'll trim the flange edge off, cut all the rod box openings out, rough up the hull, get it ready, prep for the next part. All we've done in this part is basically build fiberglass parts. Now we're getting ready to build a boat.
Okay.
Next step is we'll actually start building the boat. We're going to start putting all the little hardware, all the little pieces on, rod box, carpet goes in, deck fittings, live well pumps, bilge pumps, all the wiring harnesses, all all of the wiring harnesses to power all the grafts that we're running nowadays. It's not uncommon for 4 or 5 grafts set up on a boat anymore. Running live scope or active target, running 360s. I mean, it's a pretty common setup. So we've spent a lot of time really investigating our wiring and who we are as a company, because we're end users just like you. So we want it to work when we go fishing on the weekends. So, like I said, we've spent a lot of time running dedicated 10 gauge, so these grafts will actually have the power they need to run. And
that's a big thing we run into. Not all boat
places are doing
and guys are like, why is my live scope not working? Well, you don't have a big enough wire to carry enough juice to the front.
You got 17 or 14 gauge wire running to it. Once they've got all the parts and pieces on, they'll actually do what we call pinning, where we're going to bond the deck to the hull. Okay. There's some steps that we do that are quite a bit different than most manufacturers. We actually bond the pinning flange all the way around. So this top edge will run a bead of 3M 5200 all the way around the boat. And then when you pin the deck over, it actually bonds up into that deck and hull joint.
Okay.
Same deal with the subfloor, the splash wheel. We'll run a layer of mud over that entire surface area, lower the deck down, screw the deck to the hull, and then blast the bulkheads down. Once that's done, the boat is one piece. It does not come apart.
So it's not like the 82 bass boat that I had that I ran sheetrock screws in
That's right. Yeah,
every time? Because when you would go swimming and jump off the side, there was always a gap.
We've
like
gotten a little smarter over the years. So yeah, we're using better raw materials and better processes.
That was a 1982 model. That was my first bass boat. The first bass boat stories sometimes are, they're good. The thing caught on fire once while I was fishing in a tournament. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like when we've got it actually pinned. You can see the mud come out over the splash well. We've screwed the subfloor down. We'll run pinning screws every foot. Like I said, once that joint dries up in here with 5200, it does not come apart. Then from here, it's regular production. We're basically putting all the pieces on, hooking everything up. So we'll start putting carpet on, putting consoles in, hooking up electronics, live wells, jack plates, hooking up all the electrical that actually goes to make the boat function. Let's see, once we get in the front line here, those boats are pretty well complete at that point.
I'll load these up and take them home too. They go too, right?
Now.
These are hard to find right now. So what are they doing here, Jeff?
They're actually doing what we call final finish. So they're coming through, buffing, waxing, compounding the hull, looking basically for anything that needs touched up, sanded on, to ensure the fit and finish when it goes out the door is 100%.
And you've already got this one loaded down with all the electronics and everything that are on the tag order to go with it, so that when it goes to rigging, that's where it's at.
So the next step, they'll bring it down and then we'll finish up the bioelectronics and put seats in it.
Gotcha.
Sometimes we'll see a boat that we just like actually this boat right here is Brandon Lester's colors. He built his and went with new colors, and I went, that's a good looking boat. So
you guys are like me. You've seen so many in your life. It's something that's just different, and you're like, that's the one I like.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah. That dark gray gel is it's a cool color. That one right there's got a little meaning to me. That's Aaron Martin's colors.
So that's special.
Yeah.
And another thing that happens is that I can tell that we're in Tennessee, because you don't just see that everywhere. Sun drop. That's a special drink. And you northern boys don't know anything about it. You should try some. It's good. All right, this is what's really happening here at Phoenix Plant, behind the scenes.
Peak means the top. We're going to talk about marathon peak performance, and the man on top is Jake Whitaker.
Y'all aren't watching live, are you?
Oh no, not on the job.
Who's y'all's favorite pro fisherman?
Favorite pro? Probably Swindle.
Swindle.
Yeah, Swindle, awesome guy. Inside of fishing, out of fishing.
I just think it's funny. I knew when I came in, I was like, so today they're at today's first day of Harris Chain, and so I figured there would be some guys in the plant that had live kicked on while you're working. Now, you know, whenever I ask who your favorite pro fisherman is here, you realize that one of your head cheese bosses is there, right?
I know it. I should. Gary Klaus all the way.
There you go.
That's right.
I can edit that. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did, man. I've had a lot of fun here. Like I said, don't forget, guys, it's your first time here. Bump that like, hit that subscribe, even if it's your 25,000th time here. Hit that subscribe, dude. We've been watching you. We know you ain't bumped it. Some of you guys are kind of like me. It's like, I'm old enough that I don't have a Google account, so like I know the stuff that I watch over and over, but I can't hit subscribe without a Google account. Man, get an email. It's easy. So lots to learn here at Winchester, Tennessee. Lots to see. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, once again, appreciate every single one of y'all being here. I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, I'm out of here. Go.
All right, we just finished the second best tour in Tennessee because Jack Daniels is about 30 minutes that way.
That's a good one.
Thank you.